The inner cosmos, the body as an interdimensional travel device. There is a gate, a portal, a threshold. It's mentioned in myth, illustrated in science fiction, and dreamt of by philosophers. We imagine it as a shimmering rift in space, a towering arch of impossible geometry, or a humming machine of polished chrome and crystalline energy. We search the stars and the quantum foam for this device, believing it to be the ultimate artifact, the key to realms beyond. What if the most sophisticated interdimensional travel device ever conceived isn't external? What if it's not a machine to be built, but a living system to be understood? The truth I've come to see is this: we already possess this device. It's our own body-mind, a biological vessel of unimaginable complexity, constantly negotiating the dimensions of matter, energy, and consciousness. This isn't a metaphor. It feels like a functional reality. To travel between dimensions is to shift our state of being, to alter the fundamental frequency and structure of perception, and this corporeal form is equipped with precisely the tools needed for this journey. In the view of neuropsychoanalytic thought, the mind and brain are not separate. They are a unified, interacting system where consciousness arises from the deep, ancient dialogue between instinct and cognition. The journey begins not by stepping through a portal, but by turning awareness inward to the cellular universe within. Foundational tools: intention, knowing, eloquence. The blueprints for this inner device seem written into our very biology. Cells in the body don't communicate through spoken word or logical debate. They converse through chemistry and vibration, a language of precise molecular messengers and resonant frequencies. Our conscience tools for dimensional navigation feel like refined, conscience amplifications of this exact same process. First, there is intention. This is our focused will, our conscious direction of energy. In the body, this mirrors cellular signaling. A thought, a firm intention, isn't inert. It initiates a cascade. It triggers the release of neurotransmitters and hormones, chemical messengers that change the state of entire organ systems. A fearful thought sends one set of signals, flooding the system with cortisol, constricting perception to a narrow band of threat. A loving, expansive intention sends another, releasing oxytocin and opening sensory awareness. Intention feels like the first command we issue to the cellular network, seeing the coordinates for the journey. Second is knowing. This isn't intellectual knowledge, but somatic, cellular memory. Our DNA isn't merely a blueprint for physical form. It feels like a living record, a phylogenetic memory inherited through millions of years of evolution. It holds the instincts for survival, connection, and exploration. This knowing is the subconscious map, the deep intuition that guides us when logic fails. It is the body's intelligence operating below the level of the thinking mind, aware of states of being that consciousness, ego, can't yet comprehend. Accessing it means quieting the oscillating noise of the surface mind. Third, eloquence. If intention sets the destination and knowing provides the map, eloquence is the precision of our travel. This is the art of precise chemical and energetic messaging. Through conscious regulation of breath and body, we can refine these signals. A slow, deep breath isn't just relaxation. It feels like a deliberate command to the parasympathetic nervous system. shifting our entire biology from a state of fragmentation, sympathetic dominance, to a state of integration and coherence. It's the difference between sending a garbled radio signal and a clear laser-focused beam. Our eloquence determines the stability and clarity of the dimension we access. The central paradox, the ego cell and the body's cosmic intelligence. Here's the central paradox, the key insight that seems to unlock the device. The part of us that believes it is in change, the conscience narrative I, the ego, feels like a single cell in the vast organism of our total being. This ego cell, with its limited perspective and its drives rooted in genetic compulsions for survival, sustenance, and identity, can't possibly comprehend the infinite intelligence of the entire body, let alone the multi-dimensional consciousness that animates it. It's the equivalent of a neuron in a fingertip trying to understand the concept of love, astronomy, or grief. The ego cell default mode seems to be hijacking the system. It uses the prefrontal cortex, the seat of executive function, not for transcendent exploration, but to serve its own narrow genetic programs. It can create a life on autopilot, oscillating between fear and desire. This feels like being stuck in a single, dense dimension of experience. The first and most critical step is interdimensional travel. From my own wrestling with this is an effort, but surrender. Not the surrender of weakness, but a profound trust. The ego cell can choose, through an act of will, to relinquish its imagined control and trust the body's cosmic intelligence. This is what yogic and contemplative disciplines seem to facilitate. They feel like training programs where the prefrontal cortex learns to free itself from the slavery of automatic genetic drives and instead becomes the calm, attentive executive of a vast intelligent enterprise. We don't need to comprehend how the liver filters toxins or how the heart synchronizes its billions of cells. We trust it to do so. In the same way, we can learn to trust that somatic intelligence knows how to navigate states of being, how to regulate energy, and how to access frequencies of peace, clarity, and unity that the ego cell has no name for. The journey from oscillation to navigation. So how does this journey unfold from here? In my experience, it begins by stopping the mental noise, using the body-mind intelligence to slow the frantic oscillations of thought. Feels like powering down distracting lights on a control panel so we can see the navigational stars. Through conscious breath and body awareness, we elicit a relaxation response. This isn't about becoming passive. It's about moving from sympathetic dominance, a state suited for fighting or fleeing in a single threatening reality, to a state of poised, parasympathetic awareness, capable of perceiving multiple layers of reality. In this calm, focused state, we can apply our tools. We set a clear intention, perhaps to experience peace, or to perceive connection, or to understand a hidden aspect of our being. We then listen for the knowing, the intuitive pull, the somatic sensation that guides us. It may be a feeling in the heart center, a visualized image, or a simple sense of yes. Finally, we use eloquence, regulating breath to maintain the state, aligning posture to allow energy to flow, holding a focused attention on the felt experience, not the thinking about the experience. We aren't building a portal, we're becoming the portal. The dimensions we seek of profound peace, unconditional love, timeless presence, or creative insight aren't distant locations in space. They feel like resonant frequencies within the spectrum of consciousness. The body-mind is the instrument, that can tune itself to them. The science fiction stories got one thing right. A malfunctioning interdimensional device is dangerous. An ego cell that tries to force this process, that seeks these states for power, escape, or self-aggrandizement, will only create internal dissonance. It will open a garganta, a crack in its own stability, leading to inner chaos. But the one who approaches with reverence, who chooses to trust the body's intelligence over the ego's comprehension, steps not into a chaotic void, but into a unified field of being. We are already there. We are the traveler and the vehicle, the scientist and the artifact. The gateway is the silent space between heartbeats, the vast darkness behind closed eyes, the intelligent hum of our living cells. The journey awaits. It begins not with a step, but with a breath, and the decisive quiet choice to trust the cosmos within.